Hey everybody, welcome back to the Harmonious Path with Jen. So it's February and we know what that brings. Valentine's Day. Groan. Hearts and flowers and pressure to spend lots of money and buy the perfect gift and have the perfect romance and just gag me with a spoon. I personally am not a big fan of Valentine's Day. I feel that if you love somebody, you should express that every day of the year. I feel like I shouldn't need a date on the calendar where Hallmark is reminding me to show this person that I love that I do in fact love them. So instead, I want to focus on loving myself this February. And to help with that, I'm going to be uploading videos every Monday and Wednesday during the month of February, all about different self-love and self-care topics. Now, I will use self-love and self-care kind of interchangeably, so just keep that in mind. And so let's just kind of start talking about what is self-love or self-care. Yes, bubble baths can be really nice and relaxing and soothing, but true self-love, while it can include that, it really goes a lot deeper. Self-love is about taking care of all the aspects of yourself. It's about moving your body, getting enough sleep, staying hydrated, eating nourishing foods that make you feel good. And it's also about taking care of your mental and spiritual and emotional well-being. So showing yourself love doesn't have to be expensive. I know in this social media age where everybody is posting these gorgeous pictures of huge stone or clawfoot tubs surrounded by gemstones and candles and flowers. And I mean, I live in an apartment and I have kind of a dingy little tiny apartment bathtub. You know, I say dingy just because it's old and, it stains eventually. So, yeah, you're not ever going to see me posting pictures like that because my bathtub just isn't aesthetically pleasing, unfortunately. As much as I would love it to be, I just don't have the funds to live somewhere or have a house like that. So it really doesn't have to cost anything. Again, we're going to see all these pictures, and it might make you think that you have to have all these crystals and candles and Buddha statues and skincare and fancy nails and all these fancy face masks and. Self-love doesn't have to cost anything. So it's also not selfish. I cannot stress this enough. It's especially important to remember if you're like me and you're a fixer or a nurturer. I always want to jump in there and help my friends and make them feel better if they're going through a hard time. And I've been doing a lot better at realizing, well, none of us can really fix anybody. We can support, and if they want advice, we can give it. But all too often, we just jump right in, not even thinking about, do I even have the energy to deal with this right now? And I've been getting a lot better at that, but it's still hard sometimes for me to turn down a social invitation when I don't have the energy, because I worry about hurting my friend's feeling or family member, whoever's inviting me out. Well, before the pandemic, obviously. Anyway, so self-care can also be really hard for parents. I'm not a parent myself. Well, I am a dog parent, and so yeah, I can kind of relate in a way because my dog has gone through cancer and it's been a whole journey with these dogs. But I know children are requiring a lot more time and are much more challenging than dogs. I will not try to compare that, apples to apples. But I know parents, we want to put our children, whether they're two-legged or four-legged, or no-legged, slithery children, we want to put them ahead of us. We want to take care of them. We want to show them all the love that we have. And that's great to an extent. But if we don't step back to take care of ourselves, we're not going to be able to take care of anybody else. It's like that old cliche, every time well, it's not a cliche, but the whole airline thing. When the oxygen mask comes down, you're supposed to put your mask on first before helping the person next to you. Which, if you don't put your mask on, and if you pass out from lack of oxygen, you're not going to be able to help anybody else. So you have to remember to fill your cup before you can start giving to other people. If self-love is a new practice, it can be really difficult to get started. Later this month, I'm going to talk in depth about my own self-love and self-care journey. And there have been a lot of ups and downs and starts and stops and setbacks and resistance and you name it. It hasn't been easy. And as I talk about in my 30-day challenge series, it's still very much an ongoing thing for me of trying to build in these healthy habits that I know are going to make me feel better in the long term. And I have very recently had some realizations about why I struggle with that, but I will talk about that more when I talk about my journey. In my next post, I'm going to talk about how to create a self-love toolkit. But if you want to get a head start, you can start thinking about things like where does your life feel lackluster? Where does it need a little rejuvenation? What are some negative things that you say about yourself? And where do you need to spend more time on yourself, taking care of yourself? I want to invite you to join me in a challenge this month. Every day for the month of February, I am going to write down 3 things that I love about myself. And I'm challenging myself to find 3 different things every day. So by the end of the month, I will have a list of 28 times 3, what is that, 84-ish? Somewhere over 80 items that I love about myself. And just thinking about that math in my head sounds a little daunting. So you're like, wow, do I have that many things that I can list? But yes, I know they're there, and I'm going to use this month to find them and write them down. And I'm also going to share them on Instagram every day, both as a way of keeping myself accountable and also as a way to inspire other people. And if you are comfortable, I invite you to do the same. You might inspire somebody else to try and find things that they love about themselves. And maybe we'll just set a really great chain of self-love and loving on ourselves openly. Maybe it's a little lofty, but hey, it doesn't hurt to try to do something really big and happy and uplifting for the world. And also tag me. On February 24th, it's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central, I'm going to do a live stream and talk about what we love about ourselves. What have I found throughout the month of what do I love about myself? What has my experience been of how has that made me feel? Finding 3 things every day and doing little steps like this. And I would like to share what all of you love about yourselves too. So tag me on Instagram, or if you're not on Instagram, you can email me at jen@harmoniouspathcoaching.com, and I will also leave that below. And so just, let me know what you love about yourself, and I would love for you to join me on February 24th, 7 p.m. Central, and let's just have a big self-love fest and talk about, like I said, what do we love about ourselves? What do we do to take care of ourselves? And let's just share ideas and lift each other up. So until next time, be kind to yourself and those around you, and let your light shine for all the world to see. Bye.